Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Halftime on the Hudson. Alongside Robin Kafidi, I'm Billy Floyd. We got a whole lot of basketball to discuss tonight, but let's start with some hot takes. Without giving any true thought, the average baseball fan would list right off the bat that Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor, and Corey Seager are the best shortstops in the game. And now we have superstar Manny Machado filling the position as well. This year, however, all these perceptions are destined for the trash can because Didi Gregorius is not just the best shortstop in the game, he's the current frontrunner for the AL MVP award. The Yankee phenom leads all of baseball with 30 RBIs and is tied with 4 other players with a league-leading 10 home runs. His .333 batting average has him in the top 10 for AL hitters, and his 25 runs scored is second in the league. And most important factor here, which makes him the best, is the shoes that he had to fill. Coming into the bright lights of New York can give any player the pressure to make them lose their mind. But coming in and replace one of the most coveted Yankees of all time, the guy who had his number posted everywhere throughout the city for crying out loud, how could any young guy come in and do what the captain did? I wish I could ask Didi that because he went above and beyond, exceeding all and any expectations. After the shredder left Didi Gregorius off the top 10 list for shortstops in the game, MLB has to consider trashing that joke too. The world of baseball must give nothing but re-to-peck to Sir Didi.
Let's not look too far. The answer to who is the 2018 NBA MVP is right in front of our eyes. The past couple of years, the greatness of LeBron James has become expected every season, and we have overlooked how he is still the greatest basketball player. While James Harden is the popular candidate, having led the Rockets to an impressive 65-win year, he is still known to disappear during the playoffs, and we've seen this year and year again, while LeBron has been nothing short of spectacular. In the series against Indiana, while it did go to 7 games, LeBron single-handedly carried the Cavaliers to the second round. At age 32, he played a surreal 42 minutes per game, putting up 33 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, all while shooting 53%. If any other player put up these numbers, it would be all over SportsCenter. Let's take a look at James Harden's series numbers. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists on 42% shooting. So while the MVP isn't determined solely by playoff numbers, it is important to look at the cards each player has been dealt. When you look at the drama in Cleveland all year, the roster movement, rumors of LeBron leaving, and he has been able to do, despite all of this, the Cavs finished 4th in the East with no legitimate scoring options or playmakers other than LeBron himself. He will essentially be carrying this Cleveland team to the finals come June.
The Eastern Conference is the most wide open it's been since before LeBron took his talents to South Beach. The Celtics are without Kyrie Irving, the Raptors are notorious for choking year after year, and the Cavs supporting cast might be worse than the 2007 team that LeBron miraculously took to the finals just to get swept. With the most electrifying fan base and Meek Mill by their side, the Sixers will be the team that finally ends the Kings streak of reaching the NBA Finals. Ben Simmons is not only Rookie of the Year, he's already a top 20 player in the league, and so is Joel Embiid. I'm not saying there will be another LeBron James, but once he's out of the league, it'll be Simmons who will be known as the NBA's best player. And if we're looking at overall rosters too, the Celtics have a darn good one all around. However, they are missing their 2 superstars, and as solid as Terry Rozier has been, he's not the guy to take a team to the finals. And once the Sixers beat the Celtics, it will be theirs to lose as they play a gassed LeBron after putting the team completely on his back once again, unless somehow Kevin Love can score more than 11 points per game. With the shooting duo of Redick and Bellinelli, 3-and-D of Saric and Covington, the process seems to be complete, unless the King has other plans.
There have been some pretty good live-action Batmans in the history of film and television, whether it's Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, Batfleck and BVS and Justice League, or even the infamous Adam West, the original Batman. One thing is for sure, Mets pitcher Matt Harvey is the worst Dark Knight of all time. The right simply doesn't have that fight and desire to be on the hill. After an atrocious start to the season, Harvey was demoted to the bullpen, where he has been just as bad. We're talking about the same guy that started the 2013 All-Star Game at Citi Field, his own Batcave. If Harvey gave a damn, he would be helping the scorching hot Mets team fight for a chance to win the NL East, not being caught at the LA nightclub in the late hours of the morning. It also doesn't take a rocket scientist to believe that Harvey just isn't as good as he used to be. Tommy John surgery, a major shoulder injury, can certainly do the trick. But if you look at his fastball velocity, it's just not there. For a guy that used to light up the radar gun with 96, 98 mile-per-hour speedballs, the righty is only reaching the lower 90s. Sorry, Mets fans, but Matt Harvey can't save you this time. When we return, Nicole Romeos will provide us with her MLB Power Rankings. Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, I'm Nicole Romeos, and this is my MLB Power Rankings for Week 5. Let's start our countdown with the number 5 team on my list. Picking my number 5 was quite difficult, but I have to give it to the Chicago Cubs. Although Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, and Addison Russell are off to a slow start, they have won 9 of their last 12 games. As a matter of fact, the Cubs moved Rizzo to the leadoff spot last night against the Colorado Rockies, and he homered on the very first pitch he saw. Additionally, the Cubs' starting rotation has allowed just 4 runs in 40 innings last week. So maybe these guys are just turning the corner? We'll see. Making the largest jump in the power rankings at number 4 is the hottest team in baseball right now, the New York Yankees. The Bronx Bombers have come out of their early season slump, sweeping the Los Angeles Angels for their 9th consecutive win last week, but fell to the Houston Astros on Monday night. However, they bounced back last night in a game filled with impressive pitching on both sides. Furthermore, shortstop Didi Gregorius is coming off AL Player of the Week honors after hitting 4 homers, driving in 10 runs, and scoring 7 times. At 19-10, the Yankees are now only 2 games behind the Boston Red Sox. The Houston Astros have had an impressive start thus far, earning them the number 3 spot. Their success has been largely due to their great pitching. Justin Verlander has a 1.36 ERA and has allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in all 7 of his starts this season. The righty had an impressive performance last night, striking out 14 across 8 shutout innings against the Yankees. Unfortunately, reliever Ken Giles surrendered a 3-run homer to Gary Sanchez, propelling New York to victory. This resulted in the closer punching himself in the face when taken out of the game. Yeah, go check that out. Number 2 goes to the Boston Red Sox, who have had begun to slow down after their scorching start. The Sox have lost 6 of their past 10 games, and their offense has slowed down after initially averaging 6.5 runs per game through their first 19 games. The team will need JD Martinez to start hammering away again. Thankfully, he had an impressive performance after a 4-hit game on Sunday night. The offense will need this kind of performance in order to hold off the rising Yankees in the AL East. Last but not least, the Arizona Diamondbacks have no doubt earned the number 1 spot on my power rankings. The D-backs made history by becoming the first National League team to win its first 9 series in a season since the 1907 Cubs. This is all thanks to their dominant pitching. Patrick Corbin has been brilliant at 4-0 with a 2.25 ERA and 55 strikeouts in 40 innings, while closer Brad Boxberger is 3rd in the major leagues with 10 saves. Additionally, center fielder A.J. Pollock has been mashing all season long, as his 10 home runs, 25 ribbies, and 31 hits currently lead the team. Then again, it is only Week 5, and many changes are to be expected. That's all for this week's MLB Power Rankings. I'm Nicole Romeos. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Nicole. Now we got some hoop talk for you. So the Cavs had a thrilling overtime win last night.
Crazy.
What's the outlook for the rest of the series?
Oh, man. My prediction is going to be 4-2. I think the Cavaliers are going to take it, like I said in my take. I give the Raptors 2. Do I believe they're even going to win 2? I don't know. I kind of give them 1. I think they've been a little bit overrated. They killed it in the regular season, but the Raptors have been known to choke in the playoffs, and you're going against LeBron James.
It's basically impossible to bet against LeBron. And I know no one has stepped up. I mean, Kevin Love is averaging 11 points a game in the playoffs. That's just not acceptable for an all-star.
Atrocious.
And as good as they are, I mean, I said it before, if they advance, which I think they probably will, I think the Sixers got them. I mean, they lost first game in Boston, but what's your take? You think Rozier can do it for the Celtics, or is it going to be Ben Simmons and the boys?
Well, going to the Celtics and the Sixers, I think that's a good transition. I think that it is going to be the Sixers. I agree with you. And I think they do have the potential to take out the Cavs. I think that, especially seeing how they played toward the end of the regular season, I don't remember what game it was, but they totally beat the Cavaliers. Simmons looked fantastic. Joel Embiid's going to be a force to reckon with. I don't know anyone on the Cavs who can contend with him. Love or Thompson can't keep up with his athleticism and skill. What do you think? Who else?
I mean, the Sixers just have such a much better roster from like head to toe. I mean, Bellinelli and Redick are, I mean, they're not the Splash Brothers, but they're pretty darn good shooters straight away. And then you love Sarge and Covington, who can hit threes on the kick out and everything. I mean, Simmons just attracts so much when he drives the lane. And this is kind of funny to me. It kind of reminds me of like when the Thunder made it to the finals and had to play this empire of like the Miami Heat. So that's what I look at. So say the Sixers make it, and then you got these two teams in the West. It's probably going to be Rockets, Warriors, you'd think. I don't think the Pelicans and the Jazz really stand a chance. Collectively, they might win one total game. So let's go, forget those series. Let's just talk about the Rockets, Warriors. That's what people are going to pay their money for. Who's going to do it?
Oh man, I love the Pelicans, man, but I gotta agree with you. The Warriors and the Rockets are gonna be definitely the Western Finals, and I gotta go with the Warriors. I have Warriors and Cavs in the finals again. I just think, look at what Steph Curry did the other night.
Another year of that?
We gotta deal with another year of it. Sorry, guys.
I'm kind of sick of it though. Like, don't you want to see Harden do well? And Chris Paul, like, we've been watching ever since we first started watching basketball.
I mean, the two of them just can't get on the same page. I mean, Harden plays amazing one game. Chris Paul doesn't do anything. Chris Paul plays amazing one game, and then Harden doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They just can't seem to find it together. I mean, I'm hoping by the time the series is over with the Jazz and it's all said and done, they can find it against the Warriors. I want to root for them. I really do.
Yeah.
But in my heart, I just think the Warriors have so much more experience, and they've done it, so I have to go with them.
And of course, I want to see LeBron make it. I really do, because I want him to chase Jordan. I've seen him. I know he's the best player ever, if even people don't believe that. But I think a Sixers, Rockets, or Warriors final would just be better basketball. It'd be something new, exciting.
Definitely.
I mean, the Philly fans would just go berserk after that. Eagles, now they have the Sixers. I mean, they're living the dream. They suffered for a while, though.
Oh, they totally deserve it. And can you imagine a Philadelphia team that we didn't even know if they were going to make the playoffs coming in?
No.
And then they advance to the Eastern Finals, let alone if they do make it to the NBA Finals? That'd be insane. Ben Simmons, a rookie. Joel Embiid in his third year, like second year playing, whatever it is.
They're already top 20 players. Like, Ben Simmons, I can't see him not winning at least like 2 MVPs.
I mean, look at what he's doing already. The guy's a triple-double machine. A point guard at 6'10", 6'11", mini LeBron. Once he develops that jump shot, if he gets it, then it's all said and done once that happens.
So, prediction, how many games does it go to Rockets-Warriors?
Rockets-Warriors, I'm going to say 4-2 again. I just feel confident about 4-2.
Not going to go 7?
It's not going to go 7.
I cannot see it going 7.
No, I don't think it's going to go 7 just because I think, well, if Curry's back healthy, he's starting to come back now in this second round. It's
the best point guard in the NBA.
Look at what he did in his
down.
first game back. And then Durant, what he's been doing, just taking over games. Draymond Green's been turning it up. Klay Thompson's been struggling, but once he finds that hot streak, I think it's over, Billy.
I think it's hard to give the Warriors a disadvantage in any way, but it's different than any other year because the Rockets locked up that 1 seed. So say there is a Game 7, it's in Houston. And we know how home court advantage always favors the home team by far. In basketball more than any sport, I think. Because those home crowds just get electric.
Oh, it's enormous.
Wearing the matching shirts, and like they're just so loud. And whatever famous celebrity, like Travis Scott and all his gang will be there. Like any famous people just revving up the team. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pulling for the Cavs in the East. Sixers would be fun. I can't wait for that Western Conference. That might be the true finals, I think.
Definitely. Hey, I'm looking forward to it, man. And speaking of playoffs, we have the NHL special report coming up on Strictly Hockey. Brett Butler is going to give it to you. We'll be back.
Hey guys, I'm Brett Butler, and this is your NHL playoff update. In a league where 16 teams make it to the playoffs, only 8 remain in the quest to reach the hardest trophy in all of sports to win, the Stanley Cup. Starting out in the East, the Bolts topped the Devils in 5, but the Bruins needed 7 games to send the Leafs packing for the summer. In the second round matchup features the Bolts versus the Bruins, who are currently tied at 1 game apiece. The Blue Jackets took a commanding 2-game lead against the Caps, who started with Grubauer in net. But after a switch to Braden Holtby for Game 3, the Caps swept the Jackets in the next 4 games. Crosby came out hot against the Flyers, opening the series scoring not 1 or 2, but 3 goals for the hat trick, only to be one-upped by his protege, Jake Guentzel, who in Game 6 scored 4 goals to clinch their spot in the second round against the Caps. Guentzel currently leads the NHL in points this postseason with 19 in 9 games. In the West, the Avalanche put up an admirable fight against the Predators, but Nashville topped them 4 games to 2. The Wild didn't stand much of a chance as Eric Staal basically became useless against the highly offensive top two lines of the Jets team. The Jets moved on in 5. The next 2 series, there isn't much to talk about as both the Sharks and the Golden Knights did what they have done best all season, win. They both swept their series. Now it's a head-to-head against the top 2 teams that had series sweeps in the first round. Will the Knights end up eating shark fin soup, or will they become shark bait for Burns and his friends? Stay tuned. I'm Brett Butler. Back to you guys behind the desk.
With the NBA playoffs in full swing, how can we not discuss them for our games of the week? Let's start it off. This Friday, Scary Terry and the young Celtics team will be heading to the Wells Fargo Center to take on the Sixers in Game 3 of the series. The Celtics took Game 1 117-101 after going up by 10 to start the second and never looking back from there. Game 2 is tonight at Boston, but Game 3 will be critical whatever the outcome of tonight is. With Games 3 and 4 being in Philly, the Celtics will be truly put to the test against one of the best home teams toward the end of the regular season. Remember, Philly is a team that won 14 games in a row to end the regular season, as well as going 23-5 since signing Ersan Ilyasova and Marco Bellinelli. With 2 extremely young teams being matched up and having minimal to no playoff experience, veteran presence, as well as home court advantage is huge. We've seen just how good Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can thrive in front of a roaring Philly crowd. And without TD guarding having the backs of Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, and Jaylen Brown, it's going to be interesting to see the Celtics pan out in their first game on the road.
Game 3 between the Cavs and Raptors in Cleveland is must-see TV. The game is set for 8:30 primetime on ABC, and this could be the biggest game of the series for the Cavs. In Game 1 on Tuesday night, they snuck out a 113-112 overtime win. And Game 2 is scheduled for Thursday night, and it will definitely set the tone for the rest of the series. If the Cavs can snag another win in Toronto, they can really put the series away with a win in their first home game, putting them up 3-0. If they lose Game 2, they can still say it was a successful road trip, at least, stealing 1 home game at the Raptors. The home team has the definite advantage in every playoff series, so going up 2-1 would be huge for Cleveland. LeBron better have his powder ready because the Quicken Loans Arena will be expecting a show. That's all we got for this semester. Thanks for all your support this year. I'm Billy Floyd. He's Roman Caffini. We'll see you in the fall.
Bye, guys.